What's up guys, welcome to Tears Avenue. My name is Darren and I do apologize for not making a video on Tuesday. I was super busy with my family. We had a lot of people over and I failed to make a video, but luckily Rob had my back and had that story out for you guys. But I wanted to talk about that New God story just because if you guys haven't watched Rob's video, you guys can watch it right here. But that New Gods update telling us more about the female Furies and confirming that they're in there, as well as Darkseid. It's pretty much we all assumed they're gonna be there already. But this whole project, man, I'm just so excited about it. With Ava DuVernay, I'm a huge fan, especially watching When They See Us. Super powerful, super powerful project. Man, the first episode, it's a 4-part series if you guys haven't watched it, but the first episode, man, my girlfriend just could not continue watching it just because of how real and how effed up people were to the Central 5 kids back in the 90s or back in the 80s. And yeah, I mean, I was a kid during that time when they were sent to jail, but I don't remember anything. So watching that, I was surprised by what happened, and then learning that it was a true story. Man, crazy stuff. Super powerful film. I'm glad she was able to tell that powerful story and then bring on the cast as well. With they had like a separate special on Netflix interviewing the actual Central Park 5 cast, or Central Park 5 individuals. But yeah, if you guys haven't watched Ava DuVernay's Netflix series, definitely check it out. It might get you more excited for New Gods just because of how much she really cared for that story, and she really did her homework. And so with this New Gods project, and with her teaming up with Tom King, with the guy who basically wrote a Eisner Award-winning book based on a character that we're going to be seeing in this movie, gets me very excited, because the Mr. Miracle book that he wrote is basically like a contemporary rom-com, but with a spin on the New Gods, right? And it got to explore the origin of Orion and Mr. Miracle, and how the High Father and Darkseid are related. And it's such a good story, and it made me laugh throughout a lot of the scenes, and it's very violent. It has a lot of love, it has a lot of heart, and the family dynamic is hilarious, and it's definitely something that you guys need to pick up. If you guys are huge DC fans, definitely pick this up. And Tom King, he does an amazing job with it. And after I read that book in like a weekend when I went to LA a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I'm on a Tom King binge. I mean, I've been reading Tom King, but I've been holding off on this Mr. Miracle book for the longest time, and now after I read it, I'm just like going on this binge where I'm just reading everything he's writing right now. Like, I'm reading Dick Grayson that he recently wrote, where Dick Grayson goes undercover and becomes like an agent. I'm reading that right now on the DC Universe app, and then I'm gonna pick up the Vision book that he wrote for Marvel. I heard that one's like a 1970s Americana story, and I'm excited to read that as well. And it's gonna be, I'm excited for his future, and I'm excited for what he's gonna do with this movie, because he handled Mr. Miracle's storyline so well. And if he's able to bring in that same chemistry he had with Big Barda, Female Furies, and with Mr. Miracle onto the big screen, especially with Orion, man, my perspective on Ryan completely changed after I read that book. So I'm excited to see what happens to that. Let's get on with the story. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling on, but I wanted to talk about that New God story so much, but couldn't get to it. Anyways, so this video, we're gonna be talking about some DC and Marvel stuff. We're gonna catch up on some Marvel updates, because I know some of you guys are fans of Marvel, so I want to talk about that as well. All right, so let's just blow through these real quick. So James Wan. So this James Wan story, this is coming from Variety, and they're saying that James Wan's going to be returning back to the horror film genre before he moves on to the Aquaman 2 movie. It looks like he's going to be directing a unknown project. He's not going to release the title right now, but I would assume it has something to do with The Conjuring, just because I mean, that's what he's been doing for the longest time. I'd be really surprised if he did something outside of The Conjuring, which would be pretty neat and, you know, original for for himself. I would love to see him tackle something different, but I would assume it's something related to the Conjuring universe, just to build that up. And so he's going to be doing that project first, and then once that's done, he's going to go into pre-production in 2020 for Aquaman 2. And he's going to be busy because this guy, ever since he made that $1 billion off of Aquaman, he's been producing a lot of stuff. I mean, he's going to be producing the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie. Man, that's gonna be fun. If you guys are Mortal Kombat fans at all, let me know in the comments below. If you guys let us know, maybe we'll do more, or we'll do some Mortal Kombat updates for you guys, and maybe do a review as well when that movie does come out. I was a huge Mortal Kombat fan when I was younger. I played the games, especially the movies. Yeah, I was totally about that when I was a kid. All right, so next thing, let's talk about this Ben Affleck's Batman movie, because this movie that was supposed to come out, looks like Ben Affleck's Batman movie was going to explore Arkham Asylum. I think that was pretty known fact, but we do have a quote from Ben Affleck's cinematographer that was supposed to be working on it, Robert Richardson, and he went on a podcast and talked about the movie, and this is what he said. He said, "I wanted to shoot Batman with Ben because that was the next film we had. There was a script, but not a loved script. There was a lot of work he was doing to it to change it. He was going into the more insanity aspect. He was entering more into the Arkham. He's going into where everyone was bad." So, I mean, with this quote, I would expect it was going to be exploring the horror elements of Arkham Asylum, compared to what Matt Reeves is going to explore, the detective side of of Batman, the detective noir style Batman, and those are two different things. I mean, if I were to choose, I would definitely want to go with the noir Batman, because I don't know, I feel like the horror element of what Batman explores on a day-to-day basis is definitely exciting and intriguing to me, but that, I don't know, I definitely want to see, just because Batman is known as the world's greatest detective, we never got to see that on film. I definitely want to explore that first before we ever go into a more darker, grittier side of Batman and more like scary side of it, just because I feel like we've explored some elements of that in the previous Batman movies, and so especially with with Matt Reeves involved and with Robert Pattinson, I'm just so on board with this project now. I'm completely flipped on 180. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely want to see Ben Affleck return as Batman if that ever does happen. But what we have right now, I'm totally excited, especially with the Lighthouse movie coming out with Robert Pattinson. And man, that trailer just looks so good. I'm definitely excited to see that. If you guys haven't checked that trailer out, definitely do that. It will definitely get you excited for what Robert Pattinson is able to bring to his Bruce Wayne Batman role. Alright, so that's it for the DC stuff. So now let's jump into the Marvel camp, just because I want to give it some love. Alright, so this is coming from We Got It Covered. I know. We Got It Covered. These guys always, be pumping out some false stories and some, they be making up some stories, I feel like. But I mean, this one, it kind of makes sense. But they're saying that the Black Panther 2 villain is going to be Namor. And we've had hints in Endgame, during the meeting with Captain Marvel, Rocket, and Black Widow. And I forgot the Wakanda character's name. I forgot what she said, but she said she was having trouble with like tides or the water, with the ocean. I totally forgot. Sorry about that. And people were like, the fans went crazy, and they instantly connected that comment to Namor. And with this article that We Got It Covered is writing, they're saying that Namor is going to be the next villain in Black Panther 2, and his motive is going to be conquering Wakanda. And this would make sense because of the comments in Endgame, and because Namor is the first mutant. And so if they were to introduce him in Black Panther 2 in Phase 5, that would definitely open up things for the mutants, or aka X-Men. So I'm definitely on board for this. This is totally a unexpected villain, but if they are able to pull it off, which I think they can, it would definitely make an epic movie, just because of how strong Namor is. So if you guys are definitely on board with Namor being the main antagonist in Black Panther 2, let me know in the comments below and let me know how you feel about that. Alright, for the last story for today is going to be a Heroes for Hire Daredevil story. Alright, so in my previous video I talked about how Mahershala Ali is able to play Blade and his character in Luke Cage, I forgot his name, Cottonmouth. And I was saying like, oh yeah, they're connected, they're still connected, but just because Luke Cage wasn't as beloved, they're gonna just just put him in Blade, but they're still connected. So apparently I was wrong. so the way Marvel is treating the Netflix Marvel shows is they're not gonna have them connected at all. Apparently there is there's some beef, or there's some feud going on with Kevin Feige and Ike Perlmutter, who is the CEO of Marvel Entertainment, and they're definitely gonna cut ties with the Netflix Marvel series and have it disconnected from the MCU completely. And so with that being said, they're going to reboot Heroes for Hire in the MCU, and they're going to recast Daredevil. They're going to recast everybody. And so what Charlie Cox was able to bring to the character, despite how loved and how much I love that character, they're going to recast that guy, and they're going to find someone different into the future of the MCU. And this is pretty much what the article from Cosmic Book News says about the beef with Kevin Feige and Perlmutter. So it says this: if you happen to be following all the news from the past few years, you'll know that Kevin Feige butted heads with Ike Perlmutter and his Marvel Comics Creative Committee. Well, Perlmutter and his MCCC are chums with Jeff Loeb, who is I think he works on the Netflix Netflix shows. He says, and Marvel TV falls under Perlmutter. Long story short, Feige removed Perlmutter and his MCC from having anything to do with the movie side of things due to causing all kinds of interference and problems with the MCU films. So I mean, this is a huge disappointment, because I feel like the casting, like the Luke Cage casting, the Jessica Jones casting, and Daredevil casting is totally spot on. I mean the Iron Fist is a little, it's okay. I do like some of the supporting cast in that show. I feel like they could definitely cast better into the MCU for Iron Fist, because man, that show was like my least favorite out of the bunch, with Daredevil being the top. I feel like Daredevil is definitely better than other Marvel movies as well. I'm just glad that we have those 3 seasons of Daredevil, because they're so good. And they're saying that the Netflix shows aren't going to be on the Disney Plus app, so that shows you that Feige definitely doesn't want them anywhere near the MCU. And so we don't know if the Heroes for Hire project that they want to bring into MCU is going to be either a TV streaming service, or they're going to bring it onto the movies. So we don't know anything about that, but all we know is that they're going to reboot both projects, Heroes for Hire and Daredevil, and they're going to somehow bring them into the MCU. Alright, so I want to know your guys' thoughts on all of this. How do you guys feel about recasting all the Netflix Marvel shows into the MCU? And yeah, let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.